Hi everybody, my name is Jamie from Perfect Caterer. I have over 10 years experience in the food truck business, and which kind of qualifies me to talk about some of this stuff at least. So yeah, how often do food trucks fail and why? This isn't going to be a super lengthy video because a lot of the topics here I'll be releasing more videos more in depth about each one of the topics kind of thing. So it'll just be a kind of overall why they fail and how often they fail. One of the biggest reasons, obviously, is the lack of customers. I mean, that goes without saying. So we'll just skip over that. Obviously, you don't have customers, you're not going to make money. It's like any business. High overhead costs is the other one. Food trucks are expensive. In our area, a used one, you're talking 100, 150 grand just for a used one. If you get a brand new vehicle, like a brand new, like actually made truck, as well as it designed and everything, you're talking a couple hundred grand at minimum. So 250 grand. For that. So it's really expensive. Now you get cheaper used ones, but then you're talking breakdowns and, well, possible. You might get a good deal somewhere, but typically you're talking lots of maintenance costs. And then obviously overhead in terms of regular everyday food costs, fuel costs, employee costs are huge. And all of those things in 2023, when this video was made, have gone up 35%. Staffing is probably 25%, and in our area, fuel is almost doubled in some cases. It's gone a bit lower now, but it's almost doubled. So very expensive. That is a major one that people don't understand. I've heard a lot of people over the years say, "Oh, you're printing money and stuff," and at events and things like that, and they have no idea what the food, like how expensive it is to run a food truck. There are some foods out there that are a little cheaper to make that might have a higher margin, but most foods are pretty restrictive. And when you get food from a supplier, unless you do huge volumes, you're paying as much or if not more than the average person does in their grocery store, just so you know. Competition. Obviously, competition is a big factor in any business, just like any other business. In the food truck business, it's a little different because what they do, well, maybe it's not a little different, but it's cutthroat. It's a cutthroat business. For example, we have a food truck. I'm not going to say what type it is and everything else, but we sell a specific food. That food is pretty popular in our country, and there wasn't many people doing it. So we had many years of going along, doing really well, lineups everywhere, all that stuff, and then people see that, and what do? They go adding it to their menu. So let's say they're a Greek truck, they add our food to their menu on top of being a Greek truck, which you should just be a Greek truck at that point. I don't want to badmouth people. We cater to the whole food truck business in terms of helping them out with this site and stuff. So I'm not badmouthing people, but that is one of the drawbacks of this business is people just copy your good selling things. So I guess in any business that kind of happens. Poor management, obviously, same as any other business. You don't manage it right. You get bad employees, bad food going out, whatever. That'll obviously hurt you. Health code violations, that's a big one. Obviously, you get shut down for having poisoned somebody or bad hygiene or whatever the case may be. That's a big one. Subpar food. Now, this is probably the biggest deal of all of them because if you can get past all the other stuff, and you still have crappy food, nobody's going to eat from you. If you just do big events that have tens of thousands of people all the time, I don't agree with it, but you can kind of sneak by with some cheaper, not so great food because they're stuck there, captive audience, that kind of stuff. I don't agree with it. I always think you should just make the best food you can. Obviously, if you have a price range you have to meet and all that stuff, there's lots of variables in why your food may not be top quality, but you should try your best. Because that will bring customers back if you have good food. And in the food truck business, that's very important is to get good customers. Especially if you're not just relying on events only. You do catering and all those other things. Good food is key. Okay, lack of promotional skills is another big one. A lot of people don't have ability to advertise correctly on social media. They don't have social media accounts. They don't promote themselves on social media in any way, shape, or form. They don't have a website or a good one. They don't have a mobile app. There's various other ways to advertise your business, and a lot of people don't know how to do a lot of it. So we're not the best either. We have to learn that more ourselves. But that is a big area where people fail, especially in today's day and age with everybody being mobile. High costs and commissions. Now, I don't want to insult anybody because we work with some of these people who charge these high costs, but there are valid reasons why some charge a food truck a high commission or upfront fee to attend their event. Now, I always caution people, and I'll go into detail about this in another video, to be careful which events they choose. So some go up to 30%. We'll never pay 30% to attend an event. So the highest ones we do is about 25%, but that's because they use that money to fund the event itself, and also they bring in tens of thousands of people. It costs millions of dollars to put these events on, or it's a specific food truck event. Then you can see it more, it's more reasonable, as long as they're actively promoting it and trying to make the event go. That's understandable, but either way, it's still a high cost, and you have to be able to up your price to meet that cost. Commission is a very big reason why trucks fail. They don't understand that there's going to be lots of fees on top of all your overhead and everything else. Now, in terms of failure rates, I've read, I obviously don't know this, I haven't done a study myself, but around 80% of trucks fail within the first 3 years, and I would say probably 4 to 5 years, over 90% fail. Is burnout. If they survive the initial initial rough patch of creating a new business, they just get burnt out and can't do it anymore. It's a hard business. Same with cooks and chefs and stuff, same thing. And then the first year, though, 50% of them fail. I think it's even higher than that, but that's the statistics that I read, is about 50%. So us being in business for over 10 years, we've seen at least 95% of the trucks that we knew from the beginning are gone. So yeah, it's a very hard business. And keep that in mind. It is if you're thinking of doing a food truck yourself, and that's why you're reading this article, keep in mind it's a lot of work, big failure rate, and expensive. Nice thing about it, as long as you don't trash your truck, you can always, typically, as long as the economy is good enough, you can always sell it. So it's not necessarily a massive risk, but it does take a lot of effort and time. Okay, well, thanks for watching. Like I said, it's going to be a short video. If you're a customer watching this video and are interested in hiring a food truck, please feel free to fill out the form on our website, perfectcaterer.com, and request a quote from some of the trucks on there. It makes it easy. We don't take a big commission. One of the reasons why we do this business is to save food trucks money in the long run. So anyway, feel free to fill out the form and submit a request. And I should have more videos posted and articles on the website and on other social media that we share it on. So feel free to watch the rest. I'll go into more detail about some of these topics later that I mentioned in this video here. So anyway, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.